Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another 20 days of COAPA cut files, and today our prompt is Elves. Now, I had no idea what to do with this until I came across the cookies that I made last year. So I was like, oh my gosh, I've got the cutest layout ever planned, but I have no idea what I'm doing. So I picked out a couple Dottie About Flair because of the fact that I just received a huge package and I'm so stoked with all of, I didn't think I was going to like the, to be honest, the Christmas ones. And those are the ones I love the most. So I have a few of them. This is the cut file that I will be using. And I decided to leave the entire process in on how I plan on backing this cut file. And all those little scraps off to the right are the pieces I plan on using to back my cut file. There's the cookies I'm going to use. And then I picked out 'Tis the Season by Cocoa Vanilla. And then I have these acrylic pieces that were made for Dottie About Flair by Bramble Fox. They are the cutest little elf hats, and as soon as I saw them, I was like, oh, I need those on my elf page. So I just kept getting more and more excited the more and more I realized I had some things to make this page happen. All right, I'm going to try to use the Good Tidings as far as for a title, and then I pulled out these ones as well, the little candied striped ones, because perfect for, cooking. And then this sticker sheet that says 'Tis the Season. This is the branding strip from this green piece of paper or printed paper. It is Vintage Artistry Noel by 49 and Market. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use it because it's a little bit more on the rich red side rather than the colors that I'm going. I do plan on having this be my green, or my background be my green. This is the cardstock that I pulled out to back my gingerbread house. And then I'm not sure if I'm going to throw these stripes on or not, but it is Simple Stories, the Vintage North Pole. I only picked out a few of those papers. I didn't buy the entire collection. I mostly purchased just the embellishments. Sometimes I go through my stash when it comes to Christmas papers, and I pick out things that I'm missing for the next year, if that makes any sense. So once I'm done creating all of these layouts, which, by the way, you guys, I have 25 layouts, and that includes my pocket pages. So 25 pages total of Christmas. I've never had that many Christmas pages in an album before, but I figured since it was 2020 and I don't really have much of an album for 2020, not that we didn't go do things, it was just the fact that, my husband and I still worked the entire time. So it wasn't like we could sit at home and have loads of pictures of what we did at home and things like that. To be honest, the only person's lives that changed were our kids's. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot of photos for 2020, because our vacations kind of all got canceled. But anyways, not the point. What I do is I go through, my Christmas stash once I am done creating the layouts for that year or the year that I'm on, and see what it is that I'm missing. Am I missing embellishments? Am I missing paper? Ha ha ha. And then I shop the new collections when they come out, and I make a mental note or write it down or put it in my bin at the very top of what it is that I'm looking for. And then that's how I make my purchases. I don't go and purchase just all the Christmas collections or all that stuff because of the fact that I have so many and I only make so many Christmas layouts a year. Because that's the one thing that I'm all caught up on is all of my Christmas, unless I find a random photo that one of my friends took of my kids, like that Santa photo that I did a few layouts back. I forgot that I had that, but it was also from a girlfriend of mine. She took our kids to go and get their pictures taken with Santa while my husband and I were working. So it was kind of one of those things that, just kind of gets missed. But it's good because I always have the end of the album to put it in, or I can always put it in, as a title page for, my Christmas pages. So yeah, I always have room to put at least 1 or 2 extra pages of Christmas photos in my albums because they're at the very end. So I can always make a little tiny adjustment there, here and there. Anyways, but yeah, that is how I shop for my Christmas stuff, is I just look to see what it was that I was missing. And that Simple Stories vintage collection was just to die for. I mean, that is like the best little Santa face I've ever seen, that he's not creepy looking. And the colors were oh so my colors. I love traditional Christmas colors, you guys. I can't do the pinks. I can't do like the blues and the purples. I've tried. I love the colors. The combination is just gorgeous, but I can't, to me, it's very hard for me to veer away from traditional. So what I did was, I think that that's supposed to be snow around the bottom of the house. And I didn't have the sparkly white, enough of the sparkly white that I planned on using for the snow that was on top of the house. So I decided to use a mixed media page that I had left over that has golds and sparkles and things like that on it. And I really liked it. I decided that that was the way that it was going to be. But then I reached into my stash and pulled out a little bit more colors that match the Good Tidings, or I'm sorry, it's not Good Tidings. 'Tis the Season Echo. Oh my gird, I am getting that all wrong. 'Tis the Season Cocoa Vanilla collection. So I went in there and I pulled out the greens, the peaches, the yellows, and the blues that match that collection. So when I bring those in, they won't stick out like sore thumbs because they are slightly off. They're traditional, but they're kind of sort of vintage traditional. So the colors are kind of off. They actually remind me of old comic book colors, to be honest. And so I just pulled out a few of those papers. Now, in all honesty, you guys might say, well, she just said she didn't like using pink, but yes, she has a pink piece of paper there. It's not pink. It is peach. The camera definitely makes it look pink. And I promise you guys, I'm not making up excuses because of my pink phobia. I swear. When I held it up to the red that is in the Cocoa Vanilla collection, it definitely matches that lighter portion of the red, which in my mind seems to be peach. And that is exactly where this color was in my paper. It was in the oranges and peaches, because held up next to a real pink color, it had that orangey tone to it. So I promise I'm not making up excuses. But I am only using them on what I assumed were gumdrops. I honestly didn't know what these were, but I had gumdrops going around the house, so I assumed that they were going on top of the roof as well. So, plus I runted all this extra color on the cut file, in all honesty. And there's another reason why I wanted to bring in these other colors, is because I decided to pull out those candy dots that are in the upper right hand corner of the screen right now. And they are pink. They're a very pale pink, and then yellow, and that mint color that also matches this collection perfectly, the Cocoa Vanilla collection perfectly. I did not purchase the papers or anything for this Cocoa Vanilla collection, and the reasoning is because I love going on their site and looking at their mixed bags. Like, they have a mixed embellishment, mixed alpha, and things like that, and then just purchasing them, because I think the last time I purchased one, they were only like $5, and I purchased them, and then they're a total surprise of what I get. And these Good Tidings stickers and die cuts were in that goodie bag, that mystery goodie bag. I have several others that I have too, like a love story or something like that, but also came in one of the goodie bags. But that's how I ended up with that collection and nothing else with that collection. So anyways, that's my long story while I cut this, like I said, I just wanted to leave this process in. It went by uber super fast. This whole layout probably only took me about an hour, and that included cutting out all of these, or backing the cut file, I should say, as well as, all the phone calls and messages and things like that I receive, in the middle of making, my layouts and whatnot. So, which I usually cut out and you guys don't see, hopefully. Sometimes I remember, or sometimes I forget and I leave it in. And that's just so rude of me, but yes, I don't catch it, I should say, in the editing process. Anyways, I'm taking those candied dots and putting them on the rooftop of the house to match the little gumdrops that I paper backed along the A-frame lining portion of it. And so I thought that would just be a really cute addition to the house instead of just the little white circles that were on there. I did end up cutting one in half, and I tried to use it to the other side, but it just was too small. It looked like I was forcing it, so I went ahead and sacrificed another one and cut that as well. So when I added my photos on, I really, really, really wanted to use this gorgeous candied stripe by 49 and Market, this red and white stripe. That is like my favorite print in the world, you guys, is a red and white stripe. I don't know why, but it just makes me happy. So anyways, I tried to use it, but when I brought in my photos, I thought, I'm not going to have enough room for everything that I want. So I'm going to ignore it for now and work on the title. So I did not have enough ease to make my title with the candied stripes. So I decided to pull out some 3s. And I mixed them up. So I have a mix of 3s and the original E's. That way it doesn't look like one letter has rounded E's and the other, or one word, and the other word has straight E's. So I just mixed it up to make it look, fun and festive. And then these acrylic pieces by Bramble Fox had a little coating on them to protect them from being scratched. And so I went ahead and took those off as well. And now I'm just going through all the rest of my embellishments to see what it is that, the colors that I'm missing, to bring in this, to bring it all together, and B, kind of sort of what helps me tell my story. So I'm going back. I decided to not do my candy stripe. And then I thought about taking only half of the house and putting it down. And I thought, oh no, all that work and I'm going to cut it in half? No way. I'm not going to do that. So I'm trying to figure out how I can make this work. Well, I figured it out. It was the snow on the bottom of the house. Kind of sort of looked like a cloud. I didn't really like it. And so I thought I would get rid of it and, just have the roof of the house kind of hanging off my page, which I think I end up making it all work and not having to cut that little corner of the roof off. I don't really remember, but I'm just going to start building. I'm not going to, frustrate myself by putting everything down and then having to remember where it all went. I just thought, you know what? I like this, this frame on the corner of this cookie photo. So I'm going to leave it there. I like this label. Yep. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to glue it together before I change my mind. I don't usually do layouts like this, but that is what I decided to do this go around. And then I picked a spot where I liked it on my cut file. And I thought, you know what? I don't care if I'm covering things up. That's where it's going to stay. I'm good to go there. And then I found that scalloped star pattern and I decided, oh, that's perfect. I love that there too. So basically I'm just making very quick decisions on all of it. And when I got to a point of where I needed to glue everything down, I wanted to make sure that I was going to be able to put my title where I wanted it in the beginning, like where I thought I wanted it when it was originally in my brain. That's what I'm trying to say. So originally I wanted it as a cluster just like this, where it says better than Elves. And I chose from Fifth and Monaco these letters again. Like I said, that Fifth and Monaco set was a bunch of words that I would never use as is. So I've been pulling the letters off and making the words of what I need, which has been really helpful. And I can't believe how many I've actually used. In fact, the sheet's almost gone. I do enjoy that. However, it's a mix of black and white. And so I just took my alcohol marker and made them all black. Even though I have no black whatsoever on this layout, I do like how it ends up sticking out. Instead of the white, I think it would have got lost. So, or it might not have. Maybe I could have left the as a white and just did than. But my title is better than the Elves, which are the Keebler elves that make fabulous cookies. It's kind of a play on that. Here are my cookies, and I'm basically saying that they're better than the Elves' cookies. I thought it was a cute little title, just trying to play and have fun. But I think homemade cookies are the best, you guys. I love making them. I love gifting them. I just had a blast, but this year we weren't able to gift them. So my batching was a little bit on the smaller side. And that's why I took photos of them, because I was telling my husband, I said, oh my gosh, these trays look empty, because I didn't have anywhere to gift them, is kind of what I was trying to let him know, or why I was taking the photos. So anyways, I decided to put 3 of the elf hats down on my layout because of the fact that I believe, if I remember correctly, there were 3 Keebler elves. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that that's what there was 3 of them, and they lived in a little house, a tree house of some sort. And so that's kind of where the gingerbread house comes into play. And I just, like I said, it was kind of all one of those things of, just a fun, festive layout, basically. And I was debating whether or not I wanted to add splatters, because I haven't done that in a while. I think I still might. I'm not sure. It just looks like it's a little bit bare, but I think if I add splatters, it'll kind of look like it's snowing. So I might go and add those splatters. But anyways, here is my finished layout, tucked in some flair here and there, and everywhere. But I do love how this looks, and I love the play on words. Those little acrylic hats were just the perfect touch to make this layout kind of sort of come together. Anyways, be sure to check out everyone else that is playing along with the COAPA Cut Files 20 Days of Christmas and Summer Cut Files. Also, they're having a 25% off in the store. For us in the USA, it ends on December 19th. And I'll check y'all later. Thanks.